flowers' names, but if they make paychecks with 2 commas in them, you probably did their garden.
Oh my goodness.
Is that how that works?
Well, yes, but it's all because you bring in the right plants. You have to bring in something new, because with the designers,
Yep.
they want something custom, not off the rack.
Well, that's exactly what Philip does for us. It is the same mindset, the same work. People know and love your flowers. And this is a good example of what's just a little bit different. We've seen hibiscus before, but hibiscus tends to get a little bigger, sometimes a little, I hate to say messy, but messy.
Well, no, they do get messy, but what we want to bring you are tidy plants that are lower maintenance, that have a lot of pizzazz. Now, the regular hibiscus with the gigantic flowers, and these, by the way, the biggest flowers on any plant that we offer, can be tall and leggy. They are still beautiful, and if you've got those, don't pull them up. Plant these in front of them, because these are only 30 to 36 inches tall, and nowhere else are you going to find it. All 3 colors are in the same pot,
and that's nice.
It's the bomb.
These are created. This is, again, an opportunity where Philip is taking all 3 plants, putting them in the same pot, so that when you plant in the ground, you will get this effect. It's kind of like the difference between a shaggy haircut and high and tight.
Look at that.
It's gorgeous.
It's got the fire engine red. I'm telling you, the hummingbirds love that one, crazy about that. And the blooms are up to 8 inches across. Dazzling, look, keep in mind, this is a compact 30 to 36 inch tall plant that is the same width. There's that beautiful, and I call this the supermoon.
Okay.
Because look at that, it's got that garnet eye down there, which is an absolute bullseye, again, for the hummingbird. And the prettiest one in the entire collection is this gorgeous pink one, with the ruffled edges to it. You've got all different colors of pink and garnet, and their big blooms, by the way, equal curb appeal. These are very long-lived and low-maintenance perennials, and they'll even tolerate heavy soil, sandy soil, salt spray, water inundation, and once established, drought tolerant.
Well, some of the most important words of what you were talking about there, we can see the beauty in the plants. Here you are,
picking them out.
Yep.
Exactly. And when I was picking these out, the plant breeder who invented these, so to speak, came to me and he said, I see you looking at the blooms. You also need to look at the body of the plant to make sure that it is really well branched, so you can have a lot of blooms and that it's dense. It's not, you know, some kind of scraggly looking thing like you were talking about, and also what we're used to. Because through the plant breeding and selection, you're able to get something that's better. That's what my clients look for. You want something better every year. Horticulture is never a dull business.
Well, here's the thing that I got excited about with these, because when my wife and I finally were able to invest in landscaping, our place was gorgeous for 1 year. And then things got out of control. And I couldn't manage them, and I wound up pulling plants because they had been overgrown and got leggy. This is a compact plant that remains compact. This is a perennial. This will be there this year and next year, 10 years from now as well.
Because it is a long-lived perennial. This is the way they come. You have got all, I'll hold it up against me so you can see, all 3 varieties.
This year will be what you and I are standing next to.
It will bloom like this because it quickly gets to maturity, and then it stops growing. It's not going to get taller.
Like me.
Well, here, let me get you some of that bud flower booster. I'll fix you. But gorgeous flowers, whether you've got them in containers or in the ground, I prefer them in the ground.
I do too.
Because they get the size of a nice, tidy shrub. These will be about the size of a hydrangea shrub, our tight, tidy ones, and coming back every year.
Most people are looking for manageable landscape, where you want your plants to fit into a particular space.
Precisely.
And that has not always been easy to do. And you wind up, again, being pleased with your landscaping for a couple years and then wind up either having to cut back or replace.
It's about selecting the right plant in the first place. And these are the colors you can expect to have and the look that you can expect to have. Follow your growing guides, use good horticulture practices, baby them a little bit the first year to get them established. After that, they are drought tolerant. They will grow in a very wet area, but they'll also take the drought. These work in the coldest areas of the country and the hottest area of the country. It is the wow factor. It's a photo op. You can float the blossoms. The Missouri Botanic Garden said about these, tried and trouble-free.
Those are beautiful words. And
Aren't they?
hibiscus, by their nature, they're very, very pretty. But each one of these 3 varieties are usually individual plants.
Correct.
And you'll see this again when we go back to the still of when Philip was first investigating the opportunity in which to do this. Look at each one of these plants. The white ones are back in the back. Okay? The bright pink ones are up here. What Philip has done is put 3 separate plants together, and they grow together. So you wind up with this beautiful montage of assorted colors that most people would not anticipate.
People would not have this, and what I like about these being the tidiness that they are is that I plant these in the front of my flower borders.
Okay.
Because I want the big flowers right in the front, but because the flowers are so big, if you have them on the back part of your property, you can still see them. Curb appeal doesn't mean they have to be at the curb to be noticed.
One of the thoughts, and don't smack me for this, but a plant that I've used a lot in landscaping, only because I always knew exactly what it would do.
Yes.
And by gosh, I just went blank on the name of it. It's a common, I'll think of it. But on the decking, the steps that go down from the deck to my bedroom.
Yes.
I have a very small area, and so I've got 2 very small boring plants there, but I know that they're not going to get crazy on me.
Right.
So now I can have a pop of color.
You can absolutely have a pop of color. Also, let me just show you a little trick, because I love to do this.
Hostas. I couldn't remember hostas.
Hostas, yeah. Well, you need definitely to pop of color with that. Look at this. I'm going to do a little walk right over here.
All right.
Just take a look at this.
Oh,
See
put it
if
right
you
in front
picked up
of the clematis.
the clematis, which come back every single year. Look at this. You plant this, which is only about this high. Look at this, what you got growing behind it. This is
That's
just
gorgeous.
this is what I do for my clients. If I create something like this in one corner of their garden, I'm in for the next year. It's job insurance.
And Philip brings us prices like no one else can. You know, we're talking about pieces that you'll have year after year after year, and in this case, manageable each and every year. There's nothing else like this in our collection.
Right.
If you love big, the hibiscus plants, those flowers are big. Coming up, and I was begging for the edibles. If you love berries, you can be growing gorgeous raspberries and blackberries in your garden, on your deck, all summer long. Feature price, $34.98. Today, available on Easy Pay. Also, you and I had tomatoes a couple days ago and blew out of them, the entire year collection. We've got 2 brand new varieties of tomatoes coming up, one of which is kind of new to the world.
Exactly. You just wait and see. If you're hungry for tomatoes, we're going to feed you.
I do listen. Philip told me, as a farmer, I didn't do a lot of gardening, but I certainly wanted the property to look nice. He told me that if you want something that's extraordinarily